Hi Bella Mamas, it's Jojo Hogan here, postpartum doula and owner of the Bella Mama Pregnancy Spa and Wellness Centre based in Auckland, New Zealand. I'm here today to tell you a little story about how President Trump stole some breast milk from one of my mummies. So the story starts with my work as a postpartum doula. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term, but a postpartum doula is somebody who cares for and looks after and nurtures newborn mums in their home so that they in turn can care for their newborn babies. I absolutely love my work. I feel so privileged to do this incredibly important job, looking after new mums in this very special but sometimes quite intense transformative time of their lives when they've just recovered from the intense process of giving birth, and now they're looking after a new little person pretty much 24/7. In just about every single traditional culture in the world, women are looked after over this very special sacred time, the first 40 days, the first 30, or the first month, the sacred month as it's known in the Chinese medicine. So they're cared for, they're nourished, they're nurtured, they're massaged, so that they've got very little to do apart from fall in love with their babies and learn how to breastfeed. So I love my work, I feel very lucky to do it. And this particular story is about me working with a newborn mum called Sophie. So I went to do one of my postpartum visits with Sophie and to see her and her little 4-week-old baby. It was her second baby, beautiful, beautiful little baby girl. She also had a 2-year-old son. With her son, her first baby, she'd found the whole breastfeeding journey really, really challenging. It would have been difficult, and although she'd ultimately succeeded in breastfeeding successfully, it wasn't an enjoyable process for her. It was very stressful, very painful. So she really wanted to make this breastfeeding journey with her newborn second baby a lot less difficult. And she did all the right things. She went and saw a lactation consultant, got some advice, found out things that she could do differently maybe, and had support around her. However, when I went to see her on this visit recently, I turned up, I had my massage table there so I could give her a beautiful postpartum massage, and I bought some food and some gorgeous Indian spices to make her a delicious postpartum lunch. There's special foods that you cook postpartum for new mums. And I found Sophie not in a great space. I sat down with her and asked her how she'd been, and it had been challenging. Those last couple of weeks had been really, really hard. Her nipples were sore, the breastfeeding was difficult, she was getting some cracking and pain in the nipples. She was feeling exhausted and a little bit overwhelmed, and the hardest thing was that she'd taken her baby to Plunkett, which is the kind of baby care, post-birth baby care over here. And her little girl had not put on as much weight as they wanted, and she really was losing confidence that her breast milk was enough, that she was making enough breast milk. She was worried that her levels were decreasing, that baby wasn't getting enough, and that she'd ultimately have to supplement with formula, which is something that she didn't want to do. It wasn't in her plan. So she was feeling overwhelmed. She said she'd been tearful and a little bit down the day before, and we started talking about this. As I set up my massage table, as I started to cook lunch for her, we started chatting about what she could do that might be able to turn things round. And I also asked her if she had any other challenges, like what else has been going on, is there anything else that is hard for you at the moment? And she said, oh, absolutely. She said, what I'm finding so difficult at the moment is reading the news. And I totally related to that. She said that the news at the moment was totally making her so sad, and that every time she turned on the TV, there'd be a news headline that would make her feel sad and depressed, and her phone, every time it went ding ding, it was an update from the BBC or the Guardian or something like that, and was telling her something that just made her feel a bit sad. So we talked about that for a while, and we agreed that things are looking a bit grim at the moment politically, worldwide. And then I said to her, hey, Soph, the thing is that those two things, the two things we've just discussed, and you're breastfeeding and feeling sad about the news, those things are absolutely related, mate. I said that I think the problem here we've got is that President Trump is stealing your breast milk. And then I explained why. And the reason why is because one of the most important hormones that's involved in the postpartum period is a hormone that you would have heard of. It's called oxytocin. the hormone oxytocin is the hormone of love and breastfeeding and bonding. It's very much involved in the birth process, so it's the hormone that creates those strong, vigorous contractions to help push your baby out into the world. And it's the hormone that helps us fall in love with our newborn babies and start to bond with them. It doesn't always happen at the moment of birth. That's really important to understand. Sometimes we think that we'll fall in love with our babies the moment they're born, and some women do, but many women don't. The bonding is not an event, it's a journey, it's a process, and it happens beautifully over the first few weeks of mothering. But oxytocin is so important in this journey, as is other hormones, prolactin, etc. Oxytocin being one of the main ones though. And the thing about oxytocin is that it's directly affected by stress. It's directly affected by adrenaline and our stress hormones. So as the stress hormones increase, the oxytocin drops out and begins to decrease. But when our oxytocin levels are high, that in turn helps us decrease our stress levels. It helps relax us, make us less stressed. So they kind of work like this together. And I explained to Sophie, I said, every time you turn on the news, every time you look at your phone and there's something on Facebook that makes you sad, what that happens is that your stress levels increase and your oxytocin starts to drop out. It's taking you out of your beautiful, loved up bubble of happiness and joy that you should be in with your newborn baby. And funnily enough, all those postpartum traditions that I talked about, many of the things that doulas do, postpartum doulas in all cultures, is that we keep our newborn mothers relaxed, we keep them rested and well, with lots of sleep and rest. We feed them, we nourish them, we nurture them, we bind the belly, we massage them. And all of those things are really designed, if you think about it, to increase a newborn mother's oxytocin levels so that she is in this beautiful, blissful bubble of love with her newborn baby with nothing else to worry about. And that just helps her bond, it helps her breastfeed. So I said to Sophie, my prescription for you, my love, is to turn off the news. Turn off your phone for a while, and if you are going to look at anything on Facebook, make it something happy, make it something that makes you joyful, make it videos of baby pandas, look at funny cat videos, find your favourite stand-up comedian and watch all their stuff so that you laugh, because laughing, relaxation increases your oxytocin, yeah? We need to make sure that we understand how to care for newborn mothers, how to keep them relaxed, happy and stress-free as much as possible. Of course, it's difficult if we have new babies and toddlers sometimes and other children, but we need to understand how the hormones work in the birthing mother's body, in the postpartum mother's body. And one of the things I tell the birth partners, I teach a massage workshop for birth partners and talk about how massage can help to increase the oxytocin during the birth process. And I say to them, that's one of the most important jobs. It's your job to increase her oxytocin when she's birthing. But I say to them, then that job has got to carry on for the next 3 months. We must keep the oxytocin levels of a newborn mother high so that she has nothing else to do apart from fall in love with her baby, learn how to breastfeed her baby if that's what she wants to do. So I hope that story might help you understand the importance of the oxytocin, the hormone oxytocin, and the beautiful postpartum, the sacred window of those important few weeks with a new mum and her baby. Pass it on to any pregnant mums that you might know or any newborn mothers that have their new babies with them, and ask them to draw a village of support around them, to take on a postpartum doula or to ask friends and family to help take the load off them, to help reduce their stress levels so that they get enough rest in this important time, the first 6 to 12 weeks with their newborn babies. If you'd like to find out any more about the work of the postpartum doula or how you can have peace and joy in the postpartum weeks with your new baby, you can visit our website, find out about the free workshops that I do in Auckland on a regular basis. Our website is bellamama.co.nz. And drop me a line. I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to comment on this blog, I'd love to hear about your experiences in the postpartum with your new baby and what you did to help create this very special time, or how it was for you, how supported you felt. Hey, thanks so much for listening to this blog today. I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye.